the entire ZINZINO organization, and certainly the product group, but really what we're going to unveil here today, because essentially, here we go again, as most of you are expecting or realize or recognize, we are about to do a product launch. So we're about to empower you with something brand new from a ZINZINO point of view, but also something that I'm going to explain is decidedly unique in the market. There is a phrase that I really enjoy, which is that spend no more time debating what a good person should be and just be one. And that principle lends itself to what we've done. We didn't spend so much time debating what the best product should be. We just created one. So, let me take you through a bit of context. I'm going to take you back before I take you forward. You seem a little bit quiet, though. Is everybody with me? Yeah. No, I said, is everyone with me? Yeah. That sounds a bit more convincing. Okay. So, there has been a huge shift in the industry around us, and it's one that we welcome, because if I was to jump to the end of this talk a moment, which I will, health reflects itself on your skin. Have you ever looked at someone, or has anyone ever looked at you and said the phrase, "You look healthy"? Have you heard that phrase? Have you ever said that phrase to someone? And so health is from within. When we look healthy, it's typically because we are healthy. And actually, a lot of the science and development around the area of skin health, of cosmetic health, really was only scratching the surface. And yet all of the research and the evidence around the area was suggesting that no, really to target this, we need to start to look at more biological, systemic, physiological, biochemical processes in order to manifest better health. And so, gradually over time, that information kind of comes to the surface too. It starts to reach the newspapers and the magazines and the people who want to talk online. And there is an awakening and there is an awareness that actually, if we really want to look good, it starts by feeling good. And so perception of skincare has changed. Looking good is about feeling good. And what I want every single person in the ZINZINO world to focus on is to become addicted to feeling good. That is simply the goal. Get addicted to feeling good. And so a conventional skincare routine will take you so far, for sure. And the example that I typically like to give when we look at a more conventional skincare routine, it's like having one of those cars out the front, one of those beautiful cars, those high-performance cars, and it's sat outside the front of your house, and every single day you go outside and you clean it and you polish it and you make it look fantastic. However, the engine is broken down. There's no fuel, there's no oil. It looks great, but it has no function or purpose. And so when we start to look at this the opposite way around, and we think, well, let's make sure everything is in peak condition, performs well, and then let that reflect itself on how the car looks, you get a very different outcome. And so, more consumers, more than ever, are recognizing that if you really want to have healthy, glowing, vibrant skin, then what you need to target is everything that is within. And we can see this. You can look at industry data. You can track this through surveys that are conducted, through analysis, through people's behavior online, the types of conversations they have. And we know that there is a whole market trend that is only increasing, where people want something that does more than simply polish the outside of the human skin. So, I'm going to take you a little bit deeper. Your irritated skin is a telltale sign that something else is happening, something else is going wrong. Hands up in the room, and I want to see them. I want it to be like a huge Mexican wave. Everybody who knows someone has had a customer who has taken balance oil and within the first few days, weeks, months have noticed a perceivable change in their skin, an improvement. Wow, look at this, very nice. And that's important to note because what we're actually going to reveal to you today is a part of the health protocol. For us, and I would have this debate happily and comfortably with anyone, the single best things you can do to foster nutritional health and wellness is to embed the health protocol. It's that 37 trillion cells being nourished with that omega-3 and those phytonutrients. It's those prebiotic fibers really fostering a sustainable, healthy, functional gut, and those vitamins and minerals that are playing a part in the entire communication process of the body. And then we start to get a little bit more specific. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to recognize that, well, we can optimize. And that's why I started off with this notion of empowerment. The basics, the dailies, I would imagine everybody already does. And this is an opportunity for us to be empowered to do more and to optimize. Your skin is a messenger. If you're stressed, your skin will communicate that with the world. If there is a gut issue, your skin will communicate that with the world. We see signs of kind of pro-inflammatory status on our skin. Angry skin, red skin, psoriasis, acne, a multitude of conditions. And then we have the inevitability of what happens to us when we age. And so, if our inner organs are off balance, then so too is our skin. Remember, we anatomists, physiologists, we describe the body in a geographical manner. We'll say this is here, that's there, the lungs are here, the heart is there, the brain is there. But remember, that's just for point of reference. You are one holistic, entire ecosystem of biology. And if something is wrong in one place, it will influence something in another place. We are going to delve into the skin, but what I want to show you is something really simple, is that there is more to the skin than what you see on the surface. When we look at the complexity of the communication, when we consider this in a biological context, all of the important stuff is what we see happening beneath. There's far more happening beneath the surface than there is on top. This is where the skin really starts to shed itself, the cellular turnover, it starts to end its days. And so what we need to target, which I'll explain again in a moment, is all this magical stuff, from the hypodermis to the dermis, right the way through to the epidermis. We need to nurture that, nourish that, and ensure that it's well served. I've said a lot already, and I need to tell you more. But I think now is a perfect opportunity for us to cue a little video and just give you a bit of a minute's insight that might captivate your interest more.
What is your goal? To look good or to feel good? Why not both? Conventional skincare routines can only go so far in keeping your skin hydrated, nourished, and radiant. Today, lasting beauty for the skin comes from within. The skin is our largest organ, our first line of defense, protecting us from the outside world, but it needs nourishment. Collagen is supposed to be the most abundant protein in the human body, the glue that holds everything together. Our skin, hair, nails, muscles, and joints. But the decline starts early, at the age of 21, and the collagen loss accelerates every year. By our 50s, we will have lost up to a third. You can slow the process. Introducing advanced skin nutrition from Norway, Collagen Bootz, a superior mix of nutrients to jumpstart your collagen levels and boost your skin health routine. Let the glow show. ZINZINO Collagen Boost. Nourish your skin from within.
So there you go. The secret is now completely out of the bag. This is what we've spent a whole heap of time and intellect and investigation on. Wasn't that video beautiful? That was the first time I got to see that, and it was absolutely sumptuous. Fantastic. Another round of applause for the video. Okay, I've got lots to tell you. Keep with me, because it is really important that you understand this in the context that we are placing this. Because there is a lot of misinformation, there is a lot of messaging out there that gets in the way of really logic, reason, and sense. And that's where this product is perfectly placed, within what the research guides us to do best and what makes best sense, given that you're all powerful advocates of the health protocol anyway. So, let's delve a little deeper. And I'm going to really summarize this really quickly, but you may have heard me or other people talk about the gut-brain axis. And you will know that the vast majority, 90% of the communication between the gut and the brain goes from the gut to the brain. But we also were well aware of the gut-skin axis. And this is engaging the bloodstream, the immune system. Hence why this activation, this aspect of the gut that really reveals itself in the skin is hardwired. It's immediate communication. And that'll make sense when I explain some of the things that we've put into this product that set it apart and make it decidedly different to anything else that you'll find. The gut microbiome is like a tropical rainforest. And when we care for it, it cares for us. But let's have a look at collagen. I'm sure some of you will know what collagen is, but I want to just give you some headline features so that you definitely understand it better. 80% of our skin is made up of collagen. It's the glue. It really is what binds us together. It keeps our skin firm and plump. It keeps our hair shiny, our nails strong. And you have to recognize the fact that really from about the age 21, which I'll come back to, it starts to diminish. It also has an essential role in kind of muscle morphology and physiology. So it helps to keep us strong. It preserves the joint. It keeps us intact. Collagen is essential. And age is one of those factors, as well as certain lifestyle choices we can make, that means that things can be working against us. And so the problem as we age, we get a loss of hydration in the skin, we will get a loss of elasticity. You can all do a little test now. Please do. Take your hand, pinch the skin, and let go. And watch how the skin recoils. When we're younger, plumper, more elasticity, it springs back. As we age, there's more and more of a delay. And again, that imbalanced gut microbiota will reveal itself on the skin. And so, we need to consider all of these factors, and we need to think, well, how is it we can target a systemic, a profound, and all-consuming response, an antidote to this? And that's really where our thinking takes us. And so, we start to lose about 1% from the age 21. Why 21? Because that's when you've stopped growing and you start aging. We've reached maturation, and now commences the aging process. On that note, I will say that I'm blessed to have 3 children, and the youngest of which is one of my 2 daughters. And I know, as a parent, you're not allowed to have a favorite, but if I was allowed to have a favorite, it would be her. And I was working away on this, and she came up behind me, and she was looking at the screen. She's got a hugely powerful, inquisitive mind. She's 11, going on 45. And she has 4 PhDs, apparently. And she saw this part. And she said, well, if we lose 1% from the time we're 21, and then it gets faster, wouldn't it make sense to start taking this stuff now? So we've got more of it, and if we've got more of it, when we start to lose it, we'll lose less. Sounds crazy, but there's actually a lot of logic in that. So maybe she does have a PhD, but she's still definitely my favorite. Anyway, by our 50s, typically we've lost up to a third of our collagen. And this can be profound, certainly on how we look and how we feel, but then think of those joint, muscle, organ implications. Imagine if I told you that I would take away a third of an essential aspect of you, something of you that keeps everything together. I think you'd recognize there was a case of need for you to be proactive to do something about that. And I want you to look at that, and I've tried to keep this imagery simple, but in simple terms. If we have a look at the hyaluronic acid, which I'll come back to, the collagen and the elastin at 35, we can see a sufficient amount. By the time we reach 45, it's noticeably less, and we can see that in the concave on the skin. And by 55, markedly less. ZINZINO is a preventative health company. We recognize that the challenges that there are with regards to health. We recognize the opportunities there are with regards to nutrition and intelligent supplementation. And when you look at a situation like this, it doesn't take much to realize, well, you know what? We can actually do something about this. We can effectively slow down the process. And how do we propose that we support you and empower you to do that? As you've already seen, it's with this beautiful item on the screen now. And what I'm going to do is delve into that for you, just so you understand it a little bit better. So what have we done and what have we added? We've gone way over the top. Earlier on, I commented, we thought, well, what do you need in order to be effective in this? And we looked at the research, and we realized, and we looked at other companies, and they'd done a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And we said, well, why don't we do all of it? Why don't we address all of it in one product? And that's what we did. 8 grams of liquid marine collagen, MSC certified, the highest grade of fish collagen in the world, bar none. If anyone ever says to you, what makes it different, just say the fact that it's the best. 120 milligrams of hyaluronic acid. There are companies who only sell that on its own, and they say a high amount, and they have 80 or 100 grams. Here, it makes up one part of it. The gut, the pre- and postbiotics. So we are nurturing and feeding the gut for what it needs to enable absorption and to manage that gut environment. And then we've added 7 additional active ingredients plus vitamin C, because we know just how powerful a role vitamin C plays in skin care. So, are all types of collagen created equal? There are 3 types of collagen. Type 1, as you can see here, is the most abundant protein in the body. It makes up about 90% of our collagen, and it adds structure to the skin, tendons, ligaments, and bones. Type 2 supports the suspension system in the joints, the cartilage. And type 3, well, that works towards those kind of vascular and those membrane architectural points. And so when it comes to skin, the primary target is to put in those types 1 and 3. And that's exactly what we did, of the highest possible grade available. It's 1.5 times more bioavailable. It's similar to the type of collagen your body produces itself. So it has a high uptake, absorption, and availability. And it supports a more sustainable process of collagen production. And because of its MSC certification, with a reduced environmental impact. So it's ethical, ecological, as well as effective. It's a premium hydrolyzed marine collagen type 1, 3, MSC certified, taken from sustainable parts of the sea, all the things that we know that you need to know for your assurance and to assure the people who you're going to communicate with. Hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring substance in your body, just like collagen. And it's the element that can retain over 1,000 times its own mass in fluid, in water. So it's what contributes towards that plumpness, that vitality. It retains those fluids and keeps the skin hydrated. It also is the skin in the eyes, the connective tissues. And somebody asked me yesterday, they said, if we take this, should we expect a change and improvement in our vision? And I said, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And that's all I can say at this stage. There's lots of evidence around it when you look at it from that point of view, but that was never our purpose. Our purpose was systemic, holistic health and how that can be reflected on your skin. It fortifies the skin's resilience. Remember, your skin is the barrier and protection against the outside world. And when we protect it, and when we nurture it, and when we nourish it, it gives your skin every opportunity to look the best it possibly can. Because there's so much in it, there's so much for me to explain. What are the pre- and postbiotics? The prebiotics are going to feed those probiotics, those gut microbes, those bacteria in the gut. So we're going to make sure that they are sustained, that we have a system that is thriving and not just surviving. Then we delve into the postbiotics. And this is really now where we start to look at that dual gut-skin benefit, that gut-skin axis. It's the end product of probiotic bacteria. And so we complete the entire cycle from within. We nurture that space that is purely there to nurture you. So why do we have more active ingredients? Because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't you? There's a phrase that's really true and accurate, less is more. But you know what? More is more as well. And in this instance, more is more. We have rice bran ceramides, biotin, zinc, copper, bilberry fruit, L-arginine, glycine, which is an amino acid, and vitamin C. Some companies are proud of a product that contains one or two of them. We're proud of a product that contains them all. So we have recommendations, 21 plus, 1 gel sash per day for 10 days. Remember, this adds to your health protocol. So this is a monthly routine to boost those levels, to support collagen production, and to enhance and empower another aspect of your health. Now it's time for me to hand over to the incredible, the sensational Gabrielle Helmer.